RV camping at Redwood National and State Parks. We spent the past few days and nights here at Redwood National and State Parks. It's an interesting park because it's co-managed between the state of California and the federal government, the National Park Service. We've really enjoyed our time here as we've come up the California coast. It's been really nice to get into this heavily forested area and experience these massive trees. We have some other videos on our experiences in the redwoods here you can check out, but today I'm going to talk to you about the camping. There's really only 3 campgrounds here that can accommodate RVs within the national/state park. The first is Elk Prairie, and that's to the south, and it doesn't have a dump station, and it can only really accommodate smaller RVs up to 24 feet. We have a 30-foot Airstream, so it didn't work. Mill Creek was the next one. We weren't really able to check that out. It was closed. There's been a lot of inclement weather this spring, or winter and spring in California. I think that's why that was closed. It can accommodate a little bit bigger RVs up to about 27 feet, but we weren't even able to get in there and check it out. So that only left us with Jebediah Smith. Luckily, Jebediah Smith accepts up to 31-foot travel trailers and 34-foot motorhomes, so it worked really well for us. And they have a dump station here. There's no hookups electric, but you can run a generator from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So they have pretty lenient hours on that. Now, what I will say is here at Jebediah Smith, there's probably only a handful of spots we could have fit into. And luckily, we were here midweek and didn't have any trouble here in March. They recommend absolutely having a reservation if you're going to be here between May and September. One really cool thing about our campsite is it basically sits like right on the Smith River, which cuts right through the park. And some of the best hiking is actually right on the other side of the river. And in the summer, they actually put a footbridge across the river. The river's really high, but actually it was about 10 feet higher when we showed up. So it's gone down. And our campsite, if you look back here through the woods, is down this little tiny trail, and you can see our Airstream tucked back up in there in the woods. I'll give you a tour of the campsite. We tried to film our campsite last night after we were down by the river speaking with you, but it got too dark up here in the trees, so we had to wait till this morning. As you can see, the campsite, not all of them are walled in here with these rock walls, but it's pretty much a little bigger than 2 parking spaces. Our 30-foot Airstream fit really well in it, and then they have fire tables and picnic areas. All the sites down by the river are set up like this here in Jebediah Smith Campground. And we just locked up our generator to the picnic table there, and it worked great. If you come over here, I'll show you what most of the other campsites here look like. So it is cool. They did like weave the campground into the redwoods. Not as many redwoods as we saw in Memorial Campground if you check out that other video of ours, but there are some redwoods in here. But over here is what like most of the other campsites look like. You could definitely probably fit a 25-foot trailer in here, but or a 25-foot motorhome, but it would be pretty tight. And if you look back at ours, you'll see we kind of had to park the truck to get it off the road like that. Overall, great campground. Being right by the river is always amazing. And we just love how the parks, the national parks and most state parks, set up their campgrounds where you have a lot of space between the campsites, vegetation. It's not like an RV park where it's just like a flat camping ground. We really burn out in RV parks. If we didn't spend another night in an RV park, we would be just fine. Thanks for watching, and see you on the road. Thanks for watching.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and stay tuned for more adventures of Live the Odyssey.